making them look like mincemeat out there.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, we know they wanted this matchup. They've been losing online a little bit to this team. They've been hearing that, this could be one of the teams to potentially take down Optic, and they came out absolutely swinging at them in map number 1. To me, they actually just outclassed them along the way. If you look at kind of all the initials, Rise actually kind of held their own in those initials, right? And only 3 of those 6 rounds came on triple cap. Usually a lot of times Optic will wipe someone trip cap, wipe someone trip cap. Those rounds a lot of times came down to time, which means they outclassed them in the mid-round, means they out-rotated them, out-team-fired them, out-lancered them, and again, simply outplayed them.
It's great analysis there. Ryan Foles, of course, you're the former coach of Solars on that Envy and Echo Fox roster. I want to ask you about him. It's an interesting story, just to set it up for you guys. If you hadn't heard, Solars kind of grew up with Optic Gaming. Former member of Glory from Gears of War 3, played with Explosive, played with these players, actually decided to bail on in Season 2 finals for $40,000, did not show up. Of course, there was a lot of bad blood back then between Explosives, Mental, and Solars. He came to your team. You coached him for about the better part of a year and a half, 2 years. Talk to me about, and then of course now he's back at Optic Gaming, and the rest is history. Talk about Solars' stability and what a performance he had in Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we ended up kind of giving him a chance and kind of picking him up out of obscurity at the time was that we actually scrimmed with him one time as a test, right? And the innate ability you can see off the bat, right? He hadn't even played the game for a while at the time. He got on to play with us, and he was already, you could just see he has something special, right? He's one of the best slayers in Gears of War history. Super positive kid, a great person to be around. And again, you see what he does on the map. He got a double kill with a single chunk. I didn't even know it was mechanically possible in the game. I didn't know the game coding even allows that.
Perfect amount of bullet spread distributed across those bodies, wasn't it?
I want to speak to something Ryan talked about earlier, because the tail of the tape says a completely different story. If you look at the stats, 55% of the initials went to Optic Gaming, so 45% still went in Rise Nation's favor, but it was 7-2, which means the mid game and the late game was unbelievably in favor of Optic Gaming. The rotations were a little bit too much. The end game decisions of where they got to go, where they got to push, just overwhelming for Rise. And going into these next 2 maps, that's a scary thing if you're Rise Nation. You got to make some quick adjustments.
Especially when that's the map that they've had the most success against Optic on.
Of course, they have an Optic Gaming on a map that is a good map for Rise. Instead, it's Optic Gaming that comes out on top. On the Rise side, on the flip side, of course, this is a squad that has so much firepower, such a great story, the grit that this team shows. You see it in their everyday gameplay, and they're fun to watch. We had a chance to catch up with Rise Nation and learn a little bit more about this squad.
Our biggest challenge as a team is we need to just slow down. It's cool to be fast at certain moments, but we need to take our time, use our numbers correctly. I think that's about it. Everyone has the gun skill. It's just all about mentality. Throughout games, I think I've grown a lot, to be honest. I think Season 1, I was just figuring out my play style, and then Season 2, a lot of people actually told me I've gotten a lot better. So yeah, I think I've learned a lot from watching other players and watching being at all these events. So yeah, I definitely think I've learned a lot.
There you have it, Drix of Rise Nation, one of the older players, more mature players in our scene, and man, what a story he's had. Man used to work 60, 70-hour weeks in addition to playing Gears of War professionally before finally taking the leap and pursuing this as a full-time career. And he's been one of the most consistent top 4, top 6 placing players ever since Gears Ultimate Edition. Big shout out to Drix, aka DeMarco, representing his wife, his family here live in Boston. Of course, the emotional leader of that team, but he's the captain and leader of his squad.
Talk about Drix. Now I'll give Drix a huge shout out because he's kind of the one who brought me on board to coach Ghost in the first place. Kind of partially the reason why I'm here today. So that comes full around. Shout out to Drix, a guy, like I said in that match, always improving.
Yeah, great head and his shoulders, takes care of those who he loves and cares about. Man, that works hard in his sleeve, that's for sure. Big shout out to Drix, but here we go. Map number 2, if Drix wants to progress in his winner's bracket, he's going to have to do something to pull this team out of the hole that they buried themselves in. Map number 2, Rise Nation versus Optic Gaming. Take it away, fellas.
Jumping right into the action here. Map number 2. Damn. Optic Gaming, one of the better maps in Season 1, to be honest. It suits them really well. The way you could spread the map out and use your numbers and use their lancers and team fire. It suits Optic Gaming more so than the majority of the teams out there. But so far, first blood, the first bit of action is going to go in the way of Rise Nation.
I like how we always word it that way. It's one of their better maps. When you've won as many championships they have really any weak maps, but it looks right now like they will stave off this initial push for a possible trip cap by Rise Nation. You see there on the catwalk, Reyes trying to make something happen. He'll get shut down. So, first round, first initial, maybe the jitters are there. It'll go in favor of Rise Nation. They need to settle in though, take a deep, long breath, and not let what killed them in map number 1 kill them here. Make the smart mid-game and end-game adjustments.
We talked about this early start for Rise Nation. That's looking good. It's only 1 round, but we saw this in map number 1. Optic Gaming quickly able to turn it around, especially in the later portions and mid portions of the match. As told by Ryan, push going to be coming out from Optic Gaming. You already see 3, 4, 5 members of Optic all fighting towards B Hill. Trades coming out, but Optic Gaming so far does have the man advantage, especially now as Explosive picking up another kill on Vexies, and there goes the sneaky man himself, Drix, trying to get behind enemy lines. He does go down, but he is going to get the decap and force at least 1 members of Optic Gaming back to cap that hill. That's going to allow them to kind of spawn up and either play wide or kind of defend their home hills. You see Optic Gaming already putting that pressure up before they fall back.
Quick as a hiccup, flipped like a pancake. They turn this map on its head. They send all 5 into that pumping station, get the kills, get the hills, and now the point lead will go in favor of Optic Gaming. So again, the mid-round adjustments, just a little bit too much for Rise. They need to play a little bit better defense right there.
2 hills in favor of Optic Gaming and 2 kills as Explosive and Solar's longtime teammates trying to pick it up. Detox trying to escape, trying to get in a better position, but he's caught out as well. So you can expect Optic Gaming to put this pressure up. You see multiple members kind of just head down and kind of W-king forward. Explosive getting another one on Jerping. Drix from the truck, going to do what he can. A little bit of a misroll causes him to die. Powers, one of the only members for Rise Nation that can continue to get these touches, but he's going to fall to Mental as well. Detox getting one, gets the reset. Jerpy all by his lonesome. I'm not sure if he can get it, but with him dying there, no, as Optic Gaming once again strikes first. And this is like the tail of the map number 1 where Rise comes out on top, comes out swinging early on, but Optic turning that one around. Kind of taking these rounds out from the feet of Rise Nation, and this is something, like I said as well, they need to work on closing out rounds so they can close out these maps because they're showing everything in these initials. Initials are so important. It's just from that moment forward, they're not shining bright.
Somebody must have put another quarter in the jukebox because it sounds like the same old song and dance that we were doing in map 1. Looks like they're hovering over that pit area, maybe putting the power weapon down. There goes the boom shot. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see 10 of the best players in the world go toe-to-toe over a boom shot in the pit area. It's going to be about who gets a little bit of extra damage going into that fight to make that chunk a little bit easier. You're going to see a lot of blood and guts here very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. They might paint the wall, a little mosaic around that pit side.
So Rise Nation wasting no time upping the ante here. The fight. You guys know this fight, especially when it comes to Damn Praise. He's going to strike first, taking out Vexies. Mental and Solar quickly to follow, so 3 members dead in just a second from Rise Nation. Jerping doing all he can to even this one out. Getting one, not able to get a second one. Drix and Jerping were the last 2 members, 5 dead for Rise Nation, even though Optic can't necessarily triple cap just yet. They can begin to put the pressure on, especially with Mental after that boom shot. They can push up, get a couple more picks on Rise Nation, and from there they smother it for the rest of the round and secure it with a triple cap. It's all a matter of time, but it all comes down to how Mental uses this boom shot.
You see Power sitting there on the platform. He's trying to get a little bit of information for his team, saying, look, this is what we've got here. Who's in the middle? Who's on that hop over? Who's guarding the pumping station correctly? 4 members within about 20 yards of each other. Over there at the pumping station now for Rise, flooding in. Detox is going to start off the fight, but Mental sacrifices himself to take out Detox, followed up by another kill by Rise Nation. Here comes Drix trying to clean up a kill. He'll get shut down by Solars, the superstar of map number 1. And it looks like Optic Gaming's defense just a little tighter than Rise's for now.
So far, not good for Rise Nation. They need to begin to piece these things together. Score 75-42. Boom shot surely to come up about 20 to 30 seconds. Detox trying to make his way out wide, down. Summers looked like he was going to beat him that kill for just a moment. I thought Detox was going to escape, but nice crossfire by Explosive. He's already put full red. Once again, downed out by 3 downs. Praise cleaning that one up. Explosive doing what he can out wide as well as Mental. Has 3 fall for Rise Nation. Optic Gaming has not only in a good position to triple cap, but get the boom shot as well. Drip needs a miracle here. He's not going to get it. Shut down. Optic Gaming beginning to series as they win 2 rounds in a row. Gotta throw the warning flag up if you're Rise. Now you're gonna begin to sweat.
Don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through, and that freight train is being led by that conductor in the middle, explosive, and my goodness gracious, that is a locomotive you do not want to get rolled over by. Optic Gaming starting to feel themselves, starting to get a little fresh with their movement. A couple of bounces here, a couple of reaction shots there. They are doing what only they can do, because Rise Nation is no pushover. They can figure this out. I believe they can with a man like Keem standing behind him. I know Escamani has done a lot of research on Optic Gaming, trying to let them know what adjustments need to be made in these late rounds. But we see here blocks coming out in the back of those trucks, and the smokes will come out to start this round. Summons getting a quick pick, ladies and gentlemen. He might be able to escape with that boom shot as well. 2 kills come out for Optic with only 1 for Rise. Avexis is going to have to roll out of there with his life, trying to save some of it. Before dead again for Rise Nation.
Mental taking that one out. Rise Nation looking like a fly in a fly trap. Nothing to do but sit there and die. Strix Powers spawning up. Their hill is already captured, so they need to go in and get a decap. A touch isn't enough. A couple smokes going out. Powers taken out by the boom shot of the summon. The second one's going to connect. Decap.
Diablo, ahí se oye. Vaya perros, qué pedo, güeyes. Vénganse a ver esta madre. Antes de que me banee The Coalition, güey.
Your way back to the light, and I think they can start right here. Look, we got to figure out how to slow them up. Trix talked about it, that being fast is nice, but you got to slow it up sometimes. You got to make a little bit smarter decisions. Get some of that extra damage. You saw Summons there at the end after running out of boom shot, getting every single Lancer bullet, it seems like, to connect out of that Lancer on his back, making every fight easier for his teammates. Avexis challenging for the sniper rifle. It's the first. A little bit of help from his friend. They gave up that boom shot to get this sniper in the hands of somebody like Avexis. First shot out, doesn't connect with anything. So now he's going to rotate all the way over to this pumping station, and his character model is just as unhappy about that miss as he was.
Again, interesting for Rise Nation. Like you said, giving up that boom shot for the sniper. Not something you see every day coming out from teams here, but if you go into teams, get some quick headshots, especially if you somehow get the player that has the boom shot out. But no, Solar is going to put that boom shot to use, take it out of Vex. He's a second kill from Praise. He's going to take out Detox. This is where the pressure is going to come out from Optic Gaming, especially as these respawn timers get longer and longer, and the members from Rise Nation drop off the map. That gives them the go-ahead, that gives them the green light. Drix, once again, being forced to try and prolong this round. He sneaks past a couple members of Optic to break B, so this round is going to be alive for just a little bit longer.
Something I want to touch on. Every time Optic Gaming gets the advantage in these rounds, it's because Avexis and Detox, one or both, are down and out and off the map. Drix doing everything he can to fight off right here. But when you won the tip of the spear for Rise Nation by taking out those 2 forces of nature, it's real hard for them to stay in these rounds. Jerky trying to get into that hill, but will be met by the shotty of my main man Summons. And look at the fist bumps, look at the smiles, relaxed, laying back in the chair. Optic Gaming is feeling oh so comfortable right now, and that is a scary sight for any team in the world. Look at the smile on that man, Explosive. Looking like he's modeling right now, trying to get his headshots done, trying to give him a big smile, saying, look at me, I'm the best looking man out here. Showing him again. Get the game face back on. Round's about to start, baby. What are we going to do here? How are we going to work this? Because we're up 4-0.
0, though. The amount of rounds won by Rise Nation and the amount of answers they have for this onslaught that is Optic Gaming. Another round coming out, and the first aren't going to change it. too much. Will Rise Nation be able to adapt? Will they be able to get first blood? Yes, they are. As Avexi strikes first, taking out Praise, Jerpy, and another double kill from Avexi. So 4 dead for Optic Gaming. Mental, he's doing what he can. Getting 1, getting 2. He's going to continue bouncing around before being taken out, but the damage has been done. 3 members alive for Rise Nation. This could be a triple cap opportunity, but this is where them as a team have to come together and really decide what their next plan is. And see no triple cap coming out for Optic Gaming, for Rise Nation. The respawn timers are getting longer and longer. So now with Sniper and Boomshot in the hand, you can expect as soon as they get 1 pick, they should begin to move forward and secure this round. And there it is.
They will not go quietly into the night. They're not going to go down without a fight. They almost had this round secured in the bag, but they still got the pressure and the map control. They got the boom shot off that initial. You see here, Praise setting up over that barbed wire. Great shots by him with that snub pistol, baby, making it hard for anybody to stand out in the open, making it difficult for them to justify being in that area. Takes a shot there to Vexis, doesn't connect with much, so he melee cancels there, bounces around, coming over here to this platform side, sees that sniper bullet, oh, just barely miss him. Gets a little bit of lance fire on him. He's readjusting now. He's trying to figure out where he can be to not get his head clapped. He's gonna take that cover, hop up onto the platform. I love what I see by Praise. He took it very slowly here, but ladies and gentlemen, we have an update. Ghost Gaming 7-3 over Simplicity. That's a tough one. Both of those are top teams looking to make a run here in winner's bracket, but it looks like Simplicity will drop down now. I believe, if I read that correctly, Ghost Gaming already had a map under their belt.
By looking over at the station. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on, if that was a closeout, somebody sitting down, but we're in this match right here. Rise Nation yet to get around. They got close just a couple times, but close means nothing when the round still goes in favor of Optic Gaming. Mental in this exchange over towards the catwalk against Powers, and to me, Powers needs to find himself in a little bit better of a position. Let your teammates kind of go first. Let your teammates set the distraction. That's where you can pick up 3 or 4 kills with Powers if you time it right. But that's something that hasn't been going in favor of Rise Nation. The timing has been off. Players out of position just a little bit, but Detox catching somebody on Optic Gaming out of position. That's going to be Praise falling.
Look at Mental, taking all the damage, trying to be as defensive as possible. And for confirmation and clarification from our side stations, we have map 1 being done, Team Reciprocity going over 7-4 on Fable, so they win map 1. Ghost Gaming only won map 1, so both of those will be going into their map 2s in the cycle now. We're deep into it here with our map number 2, with Optic Gaming being up 4-0, Mental playing some great defense. I'm not sure, I don't know if they can catch up. I think they need at least 1 break here to just stop the point accumulation.
And Rise Nation just needs to not die as a team to make sure Explosive doesn't even get the break. But he's dancing around, he gets the break. They need to cap this quick. 191, this is going to be a close match, especially with 2 kills. I do believe Optic Gaming has an opportunity to come. No, they don't. As long as they don't get a break, Rise Nation can close this one out. Finally showing some life. Solar's the only one alive. He's going to be unable to get this break, so Rise Nation getting their first round on the board. The question, Colin, is it too late? They already trail 4-1. They need to tie it up here with another round victory, or not tie it up, but get another round victory before the half.
La
verga. Down 5-1, but luckily for Rise, he goes down 6-0 to the half, which means if you are to lose that round in the second half, you can place a weapon. You still have a little bit of say in the match, but if you're Optic Gaming, do you really care?
I think you still care if you're Optic Gaming, because you don't want to give a team like Rise Nation any kind of breathing room. They're too skilled, too talented from top to bottom. And if you look at it like a heavyweight championship boxing match, 1 round isn't going to kill you on the score sheet, but boy, you do not want to start giving him round after round. You don't want him to land more punches than you. So here you go. Still with the boom shot sniper, you see the blocks there and truck. Still going to be all about this pit fight, platform fight early in the round. Detox, hands over his eyes, can't defend himself. Finally unstunned. He's going to get a little help from his friends. They're going to push down. There the ice is broken by Drix. Great rotation by him. I believe he might have possibly gotten another one there. 4 dead now on the side of Optic Gaming. Solar's wiped away. You have 4 alive. The respawns are so long. Get this round under your belt right now. Don't waste any time. Fly to these hills. Get this triple cap. Take it 4-2 into the half, which is what it looks like they will be doing. Rise Nation answers back with back-to-back rounds, and that's the kind of life you need to see breathed into them. Great job by them. We go into this
second half with a little bit of a closer game than maybe we expected after those first 4 rounds here on Dam.
If you're Optic Gaming, you got a question. Are you a little worried? Probably not overall. You see the smiles still coming out from these guys. They understand this is a long game. Each map could be back and forth, lucky for them. More so forth as they get forward round 2, just the first half. And that's just it. We're on the second half. Weapons are going to be wiped off the map. Spawns are going to be reset down to 12 seconds, and hills are going to swap, or at least the neutral hill is. You see E and F are still in those truck position. F or E now on that flat side of the map. So we're going to see similar strategies. Side number 1, since the shot was placed over there. Vexy's Jerpy coming in hot in the second half.
Yeah, Solar's going to have to do something right here. He's going to have to make a play for his team. They're looking for him to do something. Praise comes in from behind. Great flank by him. But now he's taken out. Solar's taken down as well. So with the respawns shortened back up, there's no shot for you to get that easy triple cap right now. But if you can get another set of kills, another wipe, maybe you press the issue. Look, Mental sitting in that truck, get his helmet back. High IQ play there. Detox gets put on his back here, though, as they flood back out across the map. Explosive rotates over to that pumping station. You see him surveying the damage. He's going to go looking for another kill. He's going to go hunting right now. Smoke out, coming in on top of him, maybe. There's another one and a third. Explosive gets the heck out of Dodge with all those smokes coming flying in at him. Big fight here at the E-Hill, though. Jerpy trying to get something out against the first raise. Trades him out Mental and gets another. So the kills and the feed are all red and dead for Rise Nation. Detox and Drix. Weight of the world on your shoulders to fend this off. Jerpy having to come off small because now Detox killed off.
It's looking scary for Rise Nation. We've seen them in the position before where they're up. Optic Gaming came back, but not if Drix has anything to say about it. Getting a double kill, continuing the damage. Mental. He's going to get that kill on Drix, going for more, taken out. But that's one thing I noticed is the difference between Optic Gaming and Rise Nation. Excluding right there from Optic Gaming is they tend to push forward and they know exactly what they want to do. Rise Nation seems to be having timing problems of whether they want to triple cap, go for slays or more. As you saw it right there in this round so far, but Detox going to go for another try at just that. That's 2 kills, going for a third here. He does get the down for just a moment before we're going to clean that one up. So Rise Nation have a good position in the remainder of this round, although Optic Gaming does lead, and they win off of 1.
They look like they're going for this decap, though. Look at Powers, full red. He needs to get some of that health back, but look at that. Immediately shoots and down summons. Here's the chance for the break, ladies and gentlemen, to get yourselves back into this one. Threatening a triple cap a little bit. Dancing around, tap dancing even. Getting out of there now, though. He sees that the reinforcements have come. They've got the break. They can get back in this one. But the triple cap being threatened by his teammates on the perfect rotation of Vexy's doing what he can. Finally shut down by Explosive. So now Powers really has to rotate out. He's going to have to play some defense here at that E-Hill because they couldn't hold the 2 cap long enough to get the point advantage. 166 to 162. It's too close to call right now, PR.
Right now, 2 hills in favor of Rise Nation. They trail, but in just a moment, they will gain the lead for just a moment. Optic Gaming either needs to push through and get a wipe, or they need to break the E-Hill before they gain the lead. And there you have it, folks. Rise Nation gained the lead in this round. This would be their 3rd round if they can come out on top of Vexy's, Detox, all members of Rise Nation beginning to push forward. They know they need to get this break for just a moment. D being decapped by Optic Gaming, and that's where Rise, they're going to continue to press forward. F looking like it's going in favor of Rise. E is still collecting their points, and there you have it, 206. Rise Nation winning their 3rd round.
And as the cheers come out from the crowd, you can hear the fan base of Rise Nation getting loud. They're trying to give all the energy to their team because they need it right here. They're on their back foot. They're already down a map. They're still down in rounds. They've got to get this going. They've got to come back in this one. I love to hear when you can get those cheers right after a round. You can feel the energy being transferred into Rise Nation. If you're in the chat, give them all your love, give them all your hype, because they're going to need it, because they're still going up against the undisputed, undefeated champions of Gears of War. Since this team has been formed, they have not dropped a championship trophy. This team right here has consistently held it above their heads at the end of the day. So down 4-3, Rise needs all they can to get back into this one and send it to a map number 3. But Optic Gaming go back to the tried and true, the boom shot at the pit area. Big team fight's about to come out.
This is what Optic Gaming did in the first half to come out on top. Explosive beginning that one before being taken out, but the numbers look like they're going in favor of Optic as D-Talk, last member alive, unable to get that chunk on the boom shot players, so 5 dead for Rise Nation. Optic Gaming have multiple members alive, but Boomshot is not traveling towards the home hill just yet. Actually, it is. Praise and Solar, Summits actually push forward, trying to solidify the triple cap. They know Summit's out for respawn. First boom coming out with Praise. Second kill coming out from Praise as he gets a double kill. They get a triple kill from Praise. Optic Gaming here, ladies and gentlemen, winning their 5th round. Not even a drop of sweat off of Praise's face.
Look at him rubbing his chin, wondering, what was that? What did they think was gonna happen? They ran head first at a rocket launcher, baby. Made slight work of a few members of Rise Nation, not even breaking a sweat. Looking down, he didn't even get a drink of water. He said, I'm not even overheated right now, baby. I'll just fix my bottle. Maybe I'll need it later. Let's see what Rise Nation answers back with right now. Block on the platform area. Absolutely cannot believe what I just saw with my own 2 eyes. If I hadn't have seen it, I wouldn't have believed it. Look at this though, Summons with 20, Praised with 20. They are showing out right now, but on the side of Rise, you've got 2 boys dropping a double-double for their team, trying to keep them into this one. That block out though. You see one member of Rise, look at that. Rise Nation sneaking a member off to those baby steps, so the big team fight's gonna be 5v4 over here. Alexis still breaks ice though, so you see Rise Nation maybe running a little trick strat, but it still comes out in their favor in the team fight. Look at all the shotguns getting close to one another. Here comes the blood, here comes the bath. Summons sliding around inside that pit area. PR, what are we seeing?
We're seeing a flank coming out from Explosive. Summons getting that boom shot before going down. Explosive knows he needs to revive his boom shot player. The first boom shot coming out, unable to connect. Summons with a blunder. His powers and Detox are going to take advantage of that one. Colin, as these respawn timers get longer and longer, Rise Nation are going to have opportunities here to get control of the game, but this has been their one falter this entire series so far, is their timing. Whether they're going for the triple cap, whether they're going for another round of slays, or where they're going to set up, it's their timing that has been letting them down. Let's see if they can correct that here as their backs are up against the wall.
Look at Praise set up on these baby steps. He's kind of going around. He sees some marks coming out. He says, look, man, I'm waiting in the weeds right now. I'm waiting for somebody to make a mistake, because mistakes late in these rounds, they get amplified. One possible mistake could lose you this round, and Praise is just waiting for somebody to slide into the wrong cover, maybe over-rotate, but I think he might have gotten called out because the member of Rise that went into the pumping station rotated back toward that hop over. So here comes the smokes, here comes the push. Summons leading the charge. Praise checking his back, said, ain't nobody coming up behind us, ain't no flake right now. So here he goes. Summons with that Lancer out. He gets a boom shot in the area, but not enough to take him down. He's just full red, so he can hide out and get his health back. Summons, after getting his health regen going, he sees that he can rotate over. He needs to give some help. Avexis gets taken out. On the flank comes what looks like Jerpy, but Jerpy with the triple cap getting threatened has to fly back over to E. And just like that, Optic Gaming with one swift call out and momentum shift takes the triple cap to what looked to be a possible Rise Nation round there in the early goings.
Rise, like I said, backs up against the wall here. Series point for Optic Gaming. This weapon placement is going to be their last of the match. It's going to be a standard hammer burst. They want to keep this fight similar to how it was going before. Back and forth action. Rise Nation seeming to win these initials, like we talked about. It's the mid game, it's the late game where they seem to falter, where they seem to fall to Optic. Especially with Solars getting multiple 2-pieces throughout the course of this match so far. Call them 2-piece Solars from here on out.
2-piece and a biscuit Solars, if I might add. Getting it done in every which way. You see Jerpy throwing smoke out. You see the fog of war. Jerpy rolls in. He misses a shot on somebody covering his eyes. Sitting on a cover. There you go. Took him a few extra seconds, but he finally got it to connect. Now Jerpy in another fight gets another one. Jerpy just going as big as he can. Sitting on those pipes. Getting the boom shot as a prize for that beautiful double kill of his. And they get all 5 members wiped off. They're gonna have to go for this triple cap right here. They had 3 members with 1 coming off spawn. Go ahead, apply the pressure, try your best. The member that coming off spawn can get that final home hill. Boom shot a little short. There you go.
Hayes knew he needed to eat that boom shot so his teammate could go to get their break. Mental, he's going to be that guy. He gets taken out by Jerpy. Jerpy going for another summons. He's going to go ahead and trade that one out, but Rise keeping this pressure going. I talked about their timing. Is now the time for Rise Nation to rise to the occasion? Yes, maybe so. Powers getting one on Summons, getting another kill as he revives a Vexies. Rise Nation are not out just yet.
What a good teammate. Live on stream, the triple cap coming through. Power said, I can clean up this kill, or I can pick up my friend. He picked up his friend. He said, come on, buddy, let's get back in the action. Let's get into this next round. We have made it 6-4. We at least now have the chance. We've got to win 3 rounds in a row. It's not impossible, but my goodness gracious, good God almighty, it is dang near unbelievable to see if they can take 3 rounds in a row.
Rise Nation wins this round. I will gift each and every one of the members of Rise Nation a sub. To my channel, of course.
I was gonna say, I was like, to whose channel? We talking?
Mine, of course, the only one that matters.
You gonna make them Goonie Squad out here? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, Funky Bunch for life. Like we talked about, series point for Optic Gaming. Rise Nation have to play perfect from here on out. Tricks, 15 kills, 20 deaths. This guy's been making it happen from the home hill. There you go, look at the strategy difference of the overhead map. Rise Nation sending that member towards baby steps again. He met up with Mental before. Will he do it again? Detox striking first, taking out Summons. A down coming out to Detox with a second kill, but Praise with a boom shot. He picks up one. He has one boom shot left in his pocket. He either needs to die with it, not out, or try and use it. He dies! He kills himself! Praise with a choke in the round. Rise Nation, as these respawn timers get longer and longer, these rounds should, in theory, be closed out after the initial, especially with boom shots being in play. 6-5, Rise Nation win another round. One more, and they're gonna force a round number 13. Rise Nation needs this. I talked about them playing perfect. They can also use a couple of mistakes like Praise boom shotting himself when it matters.
Are you a white or a wheat man? You like rye bread? Because right here, it's for the bread. We're going to a round 13, baby.
I like wheat.
We're gonna go 6-6. I'm calling it right now. Rise Nation's playing too well in these last few rounds. They're gonna go all the way. They're taking this thing to a round 13. I can feel it in the air. Rise Nation has got the momentum. And if you're Optic Gaming, you've got to get that initial kill. You can't let Rise break ice on you, because every time Rise breaks ice, that's when the initial has gone in their favor. And with these long respawns, that's when they've won these rounds. So you see these folks coming out. Who will break ice? All the importance on this initial kill. It will be Drix.
That's
Drix with a double. Powers with a third. Powers with a third. 3v2 situation. Look at Detox trying to play a little wide, pulling his Lancer out, making the smart play. Detox knows that he's only got one left. He's got to beat Explosive right here. They've got to call him out, back A out. He doesn't get the damage done. Explosive might be able to clean him up. He does, but he goes down. So now the respawns will come out for Optic Gaming. But Rise Nation with beautiful plays there. Great teamwork, making the smart play, protecting one another, not allowing it to get out of hand, not allowing a hero play to be made. PR, Rise Nation is playing not like the match is on the line, but like their lives depend on it.
Getting that early down, throwing the smoke over the cover. Looks like he's gonna try and go for these incense. But full red, he's not. Oh, he does get down. Or he doesn't get down, he gets out with it. Boom shot, unable to connect, but he cleans it up anyway. That's a double kill for Jerpy. Can they get more? Rise Nation, they need this round, and they need to continue to press their advantages. They can't slow down yet. 2 members are dead. They spot 2 in front of them. Make that 3 in front of them. Rise Nation knows where everyone's at, and I talked about their timings. I talked about their decision-making going for the triple cap or not. And to me, Colin, I don't think they're too sure of themselves right now.
There's the flames out. They're keeping him from sitting in that truck, getting an easy angle on him. He's using that fire to kind of just lay it over the back of that bed. Vexies picks up that Boltok on that catwalk. You see Detox get pushed, almost going down, but by the chair on his chinny chin. He will survive that fight, ladies and gentlemen. He will rotate all the way to this platform, get back into cover, get his health back. They are setting up for this secondary boom shot. The oh so important respawn of the power weapon. They know it is coming soon. So you see where they have taken position. They have a point lead, they have the position, they have to get the secondary respawn of this power weapon, or that is the momentum shift that they cannot allow to happen. They cannot give Optic Gaming the second boom shot in this round.
Uh-oh. Jerpy going down. Doesn't have any boom shots left. Detox getting a kill. That's 2 for the favor of Optic Gaming, but 2 for Rise as well. Detox and Mental collecting some kills. Detox doing what he can. He gets it down on one. Detox. Going for a kill. Another one. Rise Nation. They're going to get this boom shot respawn. That's Powers getting that boom shot. 4 dead for Optic Gaming. 22-second respawn timers. Rise Nation have this round in the bag.
When you needed him to make a play, Detox became Captain Clutch right there and made the biggest play of this round right now. They get the down on summons. Here comes a possible triple cap getting threatened. They are looking to close it out, but somebody for Optic is there. The boom shot out. For the bread we go. The caster's curse is no more. I called the round 13, and the round 13 comes, baby. I am so unbelievably happy I'm here on this stage with you, PR, to see it all unfold.
And this is what I was talking about. Rise Nation being one of the few teams in Season 2, and Season 1 included, to beat Optic Gaming. Very few teams can even get this close. Rise Nation trying to close it out. Talking about that's one of their few problems, timing and closing it out. Can they do it here? Round number 13, they've been doing one hell of a performance to get it this far. They just need a little bit more gas, and what a better person to give it to them than Colin, the man himself.
We got frags put down on Plat, but Rise Nation needs no extra explosives because every man is like a firework on that squad. They are ready to explode and light up the sky with each and every member of Optic Gaming's guns. But you see Detox, the action's broken on him, so I talked about it last round. The first kill late in this game is the most important. You break ice, you turn it into a game of execution. The respawns are so long, you know you just have to get it down, you have to get it out, you have to get somebody to fall to their knees. 3 dead for Rise Nation, and it looks like Solars is going to get that boom shot. So just like that, Optic Gaming lets them get all the way back into it. The hope came out for Rise, but the hope may be dashed with Detox being the only member that has a chance to get there.
Unfortunately, the green wall is going to reign victorious again in a round number 13. Rise Nation fall.
And there you have it. Optic Gaming lets go of the gas for just a bit, just to turn it right back into the 6th gear in round 13. Explosive breaks ice on Detox. Mental goes huge with the double kill. Boom shot secured, and Optic wins the 13th round. What a series that was. Optic Gaming wins it 2-0. But man, you have to say, a great performance from Rise Nation. You have to tip your hat, and you have to think Rise is going to bounce back strong in this losers bracket.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see them finally wake up in that second map, right? We saw them kind of get beat up on their first map pick, their favorite map, a map they've had success on in the past against Optic. So good to see them kind of wake up in map number 2. Sort of too little too late. We talk about the fact that if you give Optic an inch, they're taking 10 miles. They took more than that there. But again, if you're Rise Nation, you got to brush it off. You still have a losers bracket run to make, and there's still plenty of tournament left. On the flip side, Optic Gaming looking very strong as we expected.
Indeed. I want to talk about Rise Nation for a bit. One player in particular we called out to say you have to step up, and he stepped up in a major way. MVP for Rise, in my eyes, is Detox. What a performance. Map 1, Map 2, showing up in a huge way. And it wasn't just that clutch he had in round 12 to secure the round win. It was a variety of plays that he was making throughout. You see it here. Every single life that he had impact. Look at these doubles he was picking up left and right column.
Detox, Captain Clutch, I like to call him, because every time they needed him to make a play happen, every time he had to be the pillar that this team could stand on, he was willing to take the weight of the world on his shoulders. I can't say enough good things about him. Detox trying to make it all happen, but just coming up short there in map number 2, 7-6. It's got to be heartbreaking a little bit.
Indeed, of course, on the flip side, Solar's dropped to gaming, stepping up in a big way. But PR, I know you played against him for a while when you coached. You know this Optic squad incredibly well. What is it about Optic in round 13? Obviously, you can say they're clutch. We all know the obvious, but really, is it explosive as a leader? What is it that makes Optic so good in clutch moments?
I think it is a combination with things, starting with what you just said, explosive being the leader, and it's them being the troops that respect their leader as well. Because you see it time and time again that players, you can have the 5 best players on the same team, but if they're not on the same page, it's not going to work. And Explosive does an amazing job keeping them all on the same page. They make the rotations that they need to, and a lot of things that go wrong with the majority of teams when they falter to Optic Gaming is they try and push 2 points of interest at the same time, whether it be 2 hills hills or 2 weapons or things like that. Optic Gaming knows when they need to push 2 hills or when they need to just kind of one creator needs to sit back and just watch the flank.
Well said. Of course, Ryan, with the game like that, round 13, there's not much to dissect in terms of what teams did wrong because they both played so great. But did anything in your eyes stick out to you?
Gilbert made an adjustment for his team on round 13. If you look at the prior initials, they were getting beat up at that boom pit fight. They were putting players too close down to that pipe area at the weapon. You could notice on that last round, they started to play around the pit more so than in the pit. Prior to that, Rise Nation was playing around the pit area, getting that first blood, and then winning those initial rounds, getting boom shot. In round 13, they surrounded the pit, almost matching Rise Nation. And again, they got ice in their veins, and Gilbert is Thanos, so they are not losing that round 13.
Thanos in years of form, that's for sure, as he's performed and showed up in a big way. Meanwhile, on the side stations, we're going to jump right into the action. We have some updates. Reciprocity up 1-0 in maps. Elevate up 1-0 in maps, looking to close this out 2-0, as well as Ghost Gaming up 1-0 against Simplicity. So our top seeds proving why they're exactly that here in the side station.
I think Ghost actually already took out Simplicity 2-0.
They did.
Wow. Now they're walking away. We also have Reciprocity up 4-1 in map number 2 against Fable. It's good to see Lux Gaming, I mean, showing some signs of life against a very, very strong Elevate team, right? Lux Gaming coming out of the open bracket, a team we saw perform very well online, so it's great to see them kind of get here at the event, big champ bracket, and unfortunately it looks like they're going to fall to Elevate, but still, you know, a good showing out of this team thus far. They still got a lot of tournament left too.
Yeah, look at that, 7 straight rounds for Elevate. When they turn on, man, they turn on hot, and it showed right there with the 7 straight sweep after being down 3-0. This Elevate squad looking strong. I called it out on Friday, and in my eyes, I stick to that. If one team matches up against Optic pound for pound in a great way, it's this Elevate squad, in my eyes. Colin, do you think that Elevate has what it takes to put it up to Optic in round 2?
I think they have what it takes simply based on the fact that they haven't taken this tournament lightly. They have grinded this game unbelievable coming into this matchups, and I think they want it more now than they have ever wanted it before. It was a wake-up call in Mexico to have such a disappointing end.
Yeah, of course, they know this is the last event of the season. They felt, they tasted that greatness when they burst into the scenes with 3 straight top 3 finishes. One of those was with Jack even after the roster change. So much conversation and controversy around the Marsh replacement. I don't think the Marsh replacement is what led to their downfall in the last 2 events. They placed top 3 with Jack. Jack has been playing phenomenally.
We don't get to talk about Jack too much because that brings back nightmares for Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, they beat my crumbling Echo Fox team for a top 3 placing, but I actually am on board with the idea that they were better with Marsh. I do think Jack's a really good player. He's a great slayer. I don't think he fits the mold of what they needed. I think Marsh, as his play style, fit that team a lot better. So I do think they're actually stronger with Marsh. But again, I called them to make a run last event. I got burned on it. I still believe that this team does belong up in that top 4 echelon. And so again, I'm with you, John. I'm looking forward to seeing them hopefully show us what we've been expecting out of them for a couple events now.
Elevate versus Optic Gaming will be our next matchup in the winners bracket final. Of course, Elevate was the team to defeat Optic out of winners bracket back at Vegas in season 2, just 4 events ago. Can they do it again? Can they repeat history in the last event of season 2 here? Will the European Wonder Boys do it, or will Optic continue the dominance?
Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, and I think New Orleans, they did take a map off of Optic in that matchup. It was a very close matchup, but I do remember that map being Forge, a map that Optic does not play anymore. They do, I believe, auto-ban Forge. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you kind of start to look at that future matchup. I know that Elevate's a team that's played them very close in the past. We also have to think about what their prior success was versus kind of what the situation might be coming into this tournament.
Yep. Meanwhile, we see on screen right now another team that has beaten Optic once in the winners bracket. It was Reciprocity in Mexico City. Man, this new God squad of Franchise, Sleepy, Rushies, Rezik, and
the Iceman.
The Iceman himself.
El Diablo.
Looking solid as well.
El Diablo.
It's kind of ironic.
Franchise.
It's ironic, but it's not more ironic because that man fits that moniker. He is a devil on the battlefield if you let him have his way. And I think he just showed you a little bit of it right there, taking out God plays.
I was talking to Franchise a little bit prior to the event. Obviously, we're very close friends, and just asking how he's feeling. They were struggling a ton online prior, and they're very, very aware of that. And he just told me, he goes, look, I want to have an MVP type event. He goes, I am having an MVP type event. So for me, I mean, with Reciprocity, with a lot of, the old Envy team, old Echo Fox team, in reality, I mean, depending on the first round matchup, usually it's on the easier side. Their tournament really starts in winter semis. That's where you're really going to start to see them be tested. That's where you're going to really see what they're made of, because that's when you really start to play the highest caliber teams. And so if I'm looking at this correctly, assuming they beat Fable, I believe they go on to play Ghost Gaming, who's also looking like a top 4 caliber team, who's looked super, super strong. They had a pretty good series in Mexico, but Reciprocity did win that, I believe. Jake, you probably remember the scores a little better than me, but I believe Reciprocity won fairly handedly.
In which matchup?
Ghost versus Reciprocity in Mexico City. It was close, but it was, I believe, a 2-0.
I
think Slab was close,
yeah,
right?
No, it was really
Slab
close. It was
close.
7-6 on
Yeah,
Slab.
Slab.
Yeah, I remember talking to those guys too. It was literally one missed call out. They thought Rushies had died with a drop shot. Unfortunately, he kind of escaped and was able to put that drop shot to use in that round number 13.
Are you telling me Rushies escaped a fight? I don't believe it. Never seen that man get out of a fight.
He's either the winner in the fight or the dead in a fight. Either way, it's a 1v3 that he pushed into.
And Jacob, you and I, on Caster Skirts, you and I kind of talked about this too in going over this Ghost Gaming roster. This is the first time this roster is playing together outside of Latin American soil, right? The first time Idetives came back home to play with this team. They did play in Mexico, where you obviously have a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th man in terms of the crowd that is behind you. So for me, this is kind of the proving ground for me for this team, playing where the crowd might not quite, want you to win every single fight, every single round. So they're looking very, very good so far. But to me, just in the same way for Reciprocity, the true test for this Ghost Gaming team is coming in Winter Semis.
Yep, and kind of said it. All the teams that came out on top in their pool, it wasn't too hard. Maybe they had one rough map throughout the course, but a lot of these teams who came out on top of their pool did it easily for the most part. Like you said, championship bracket, that's where it really starts.
Round 2 of championship bracket, winner semifinals particularly.
If you'll allow me to ask kind of a boneheaded question, it's one of my favorite things to kind of look at when I watch people on where they sit. Do you think it means anything that they kind of changed up the seating arrangement across those 5? Have you ever put stock in where people get sat on that team?
Yeah, most definitely. Usually a lot of times, like what we would do is we want Franchise in the middle for my old teams. He's the in-game leader. He's the one who wants to kind of be able to see everyone's screens. And a lot of times, too, it's not so much the case with this Reciprocity team, but a lot of times you might want to put your young rookie kind of players close to your leader, close to someone who can help guide them. So, and obviously certain players have certain preferences. Some players love to play on the ends. Some players love to play where they're going to be. I know Praise, for example, sometimes would like to play as close as possible to the opposite team on main stage. That way you can get closer to trash talk. No, there's all kinds of different reasons why players like to sit where they like to sit.
If you saw it on screen right there, it's Rushies on one end, followed by Yachty with Icy in the middle, Franchise, and on the opposite side you have Rezik. So I'm curious, do you think they put Rezik right next to Fran so it allows Fran to kind of make some shot calls?
Yeah, I mean, Rezik is by far the worst communicator on that team. He communicates the least on that team, so having him next to your biggest communicator is obviously going to be good. Rushies and Sleepy have been teammates for a long time. 2 players who like to play together, have a lot of good chemistry together. So yeah, I mean, every team has their own reasons, like I said, but there's a lot of different nuances and a lot of different reasons why certain players like to sit where they like to sit, or why certain leaders like their players to sit in certain places as well.
I call it the lineup. I like to look at teams' lineups because I feel like it shows me who might have the hot hand, who might be playing better, because then you end up seeing them get pushed out toward the end kind of thing, because you can let them kind of lone wolf it every now and again.
And then think about it too, one thing that I always think about was that from a coach's perspective too, where does your coach stand behind them in that orientation too, right? You usually want your coach, a lot of the things coaches do in game are communicating, so you want to also potentially kind of put your coach next to one of your lower communicators as well. So there's a lot of different things that kind of you want to fit into the puzzle, right, of making sure that your communication's best, that everyone's the most comfortable they can be. But again, every team is different at the end of the day.
Next level.
One thing I will say I'm looking forward to, and one thing you can't deny, is Reciprocity has been playing lights out the past 2 matches. What they did against the Red Hot Lux, 7-0, 7-1, and what they're doing now against Fable, 7-3, with a potential 7-1 looming here, is impressive. You got to think they're really showing up here in a big way on LAN, of course. This is going to set up something great. Round 2, winners bracket semifinals, the rematch between Reciprocity and a revamped Ghost Gaming that has been boot camping looks much better, much improved from Mexico City. In addition to Optic Gaming against an Elevate squad that I think matches up pound for pound the best against Optic Gaming. Phelpsy is to Explosive on that team, as Hydrone is to Summons, as Crazed is to Mental in my eyes, and I can't wait to see this breakdown.
I already know. Ryan's trying to say something. I already know what he's going to say. Go ahead.
No, you go, Jacob. I know.
There is 3 boomboxes on the map right now. That is the most boomboxes I've seen on a map in Gears of War history.
So I call it the boombox. Soto calls it the clapper.
We're speaking about the overkill, ladies and gentlemen. Very few players have mastered this weapon just yet. Rushies being one of the few
3 years later,
who kind of did just that. Unfortunately, we haven't seen too much of it as he was taken out, but not something you see every day.
Even Note Zero talks about the fact that some of these weapons in this game, even years later, are still very underutilized. The Overkill being one of them, aka the Boombox. But kind of, John, going back to your point about some of the matchups we have ahead of us, one thing I do want to talk about before we go there is this current matchup. So as of recent, Fable has been beating up Reciprocity online in scrims. Reciprocity has been, again, not that they've looked great online in general, but Fable's been one of the teams who has been giving them hell online. So it's great to see Reciprocity kind of stepping up at the event. These are players who have been performing on LAN for years and years, players who don't let those things kind of affect them. So I guess, like I said, to me, the proving ground is in winter semis for to be honest, everyone but Optic in my eyes.
No sé qué es esto, y aquí mira que
We're
está.
setting the stage now for winners bracket semifinals. And it's going to be a great one here today. Of course, Championship Sunday follows tomorrow. I was out in the crowd, met some awesome people. Ray, who came out from Connecticut. I met a gentleman that came from North Carolina here just to support Gears Esports. A major shout out to everyone that makes it live here at the event and at the venue. We've been saying this since the hype days, and people always thought it was just we had this. No, it's true. There's nothing in the world that compares to coming to these events, to engage and hanging out with people that are so like-minded, that share a passion for Xbox, for Gears in particular, and really it's something special that exists inside these venues.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason we simply never stopped going to these, no matter what the prize money was, no matter the fame, the lack of fame, ballrooms, wherever we could set up monitors and consoles. And of course, part of that is shout out to people like, Burger, Vicious, Captain Barbosa, who's actually here in Boston this weekend, people who helped keep the community alive. And then of course, going from there, obviously Jack Felly and Coalition taking the reins on that and giving us something that's absolutely incredible. I know it's been life-changing for me. I know it's been life-changing for you guys as well. So just so incredible to see how far we've gone, and more importantly, where we're going. We have things like Ely coming up. We have a brand new title, so it's a very, very exciting time to be a fan of Gears of War, a player of Gears of War, any kind of gaming lover in the Gears space.
You talk about coming to these events, nothing matches it. Some guys in the crowd, Fathom and Rock, give them a shout out in the crowd, meeting each other for the first time through online at this event.
No way. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
It's just an amazing story. I was talking to these guys for probably like 30 minutes for quite a while, and these guys talked about how amazing it is and how happy and glad they were they came to this event.
It's amazing. We got Shadows coming from the UK. We got Grexos coming from the Netherlands. I mean, it is awesome to see so many community members who've been around for so long make it all out. Of course, now Reciprocity trying to close this one out. 6-2 is the score as they are in control of this round, but they were in control of the last round as well. Couldn't finish that. Fable trying to claw their way back into this one, stay alive if they can.
You see Kenny all the way back here in this incinerator. He's basically playing a floor general position. He's trying to figure out where Reciprocity is going to be coming from, but Vital said, hey, look,
Boombox friendly fire, baby.
No. Oh, that thing is it's so fun to use. Once you actually figure out how to use that weapon, it's literally one of the more fun weapons to use.
Once you figure out kind of the cadence and sort of like the flow, or I don't know, the rhythm of the weapon.
We also had to get an update to it. I mean, it wasn't the same.
It got reverted back.
I was going to say, it wasn't the same.
No, it got reverted back.
It's got range.
Because they nerfed it at one point.
Yeah.
And that's why definitely no one used it when it was powerful, so nerfing it wasn't the best decision. But
it's insane. I played in the 1 to 50 Horde match with Gold Glove and co. and used the boombox in that.
Boombox, baby.
The overkill in that, and literally just playing Horde for an hour and a half. I was like, this thing is the best weapon. It's gonna change the game. No one actually gave it a shot. All you have to do is sit in Horde for an hour and a half, and you'll learn how good that thing is. But I don't think these guys are playing Horde very often.
In the Reciprocity versus Mazer match, the boom shot was on the map over at the general area on the side, and it got switched out when it was round 13 from boom to boombox or the overkill. Rushy's actually picked it up and got first blood with that weapon as well. So you can just see the impact of that boombox, aka the overkill.
There you have Reciprocity. It is indeed. Reciprocity. Saw Rush's on your screen. The king of the boombox himself, or the overkill, is going to take this one. 7-2 is the score. Again, a very dominant Reciprocity, looking sharp and looking strong here, coming into the round 2 matchup against the Latin American superstars. It's going to be Ghost Gaming. Something tells me Twitch chat is going to be absolutely insane with Viva Mexico, Viva Latam in there. And of course, let's take a look at the bracket right now to show you guys how the action has broken down. Look at that, 2-0 City for our top seeds, clean sweeping the underdogs in round 1. That sets us up for an Optic Gaming, Elevate, and Ghost Gaming Reciprocity matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for 2 better semifinal matches. Like you mentioned, John, Elevate has played Optic Gaming so close in the past. One of the teams people think could be a potential David to take down the Goliath, so to speak. And then, of course, on the opposite end, Reciprocity versus Ghost Gaming. 2 teams with a ton to prove at this tournament. 2 teams who want to close out Gears of War 4 with a bang. So, and I also know both of those teams want their crack at potentially Optic Gaming. Gaming as well.
I don't want to say it almost looks like a pick'em, but those are titans right now. Those look like 4 of the biggest Goliaths we've ever had on the circuit, about to go pound for pound with one another. I can't wait to go in the back and watch these matches. I can save my voice, but I get to cheer my head off because I know what's coming up next. What's next is 4 of the best teams about to go toe-to-toe, trying to knock one another out, trying to make them make that loser bracket run, baby. There's nothing better than Gears of War on a Saturday.
Ain't that the truth? Amen to that, you know? One thing I will say is it almost feels like, and you saw it in that winner's bracket, it almost feels like there's 2 tiers, right? If you had to break it down in a simple way. There's tier 1, which are those 4 teams, all of them equally dominating their matchup. It's an Optic, which is the close one against Rise. And then there's a tier 2, which is the 4 teams that lost 2-0. And it seems like you can almost categorize them, and those 4 teams are all about to go head-to-head here.
All season long, Reciprocity and Ghost have been going at it. And at first, it was a little back and forth. They were formerly known as Echo Fox, but so far in the later half of the season, it's been Ghost Gaming having their number. Obviously, it's a little bit of a revamped roster. So with this roster, they're about 0-1 looking for redemption. That's a match I'm surely excited for.
Reciprocity and Ghost Gaming, the rematch. Something tells me that might be what we see on main stage. We'll let you guys know. Of course, Optic Gaming and Elevate will be a great one as well. If you're representing Europe, you're getting excited for that one. But let's go ahead and take a look at the other side of the bracket. That's the losers bracket here. The teams that came from Open, Cyclone with a 2-0 over their counterparts down in Latin America. That's Fire and Ice. So the Spaniards showing up in a great way here. They're going up against Hive. I'll tell you right now, those guys love Gears. They grind this game. They are very talented. Expect a potential match in our hands between Cyclone and Hive. I'm looking forward to that.
Very sad.
Hive, that X and Nimbus team, the core of Nimbus coming over to that Hive squad, getting a first-time LAN player, much like Powers was way back in New Orleans. They have a first-time guy out here in Noe. He's trying to show out as best he can for Hive, so that one is going to be one to look forward to.
There's 2 very interesting matchups ahead. It's going to be potentially, assuming the bracket works out the way you think it would, Hive taking on people taking on Fable, who beat Fire and Ice, obviously. And then on the other side, it's going to be, I believe, Simplicity and Mazer, which is also going to be a pretty crazy matchup. So if I'm looking at the sides of the bracket right, I believe that means 2 of those teams are going to either get top 16 or top 12 when you think about that. So out of those 4 teams, out of the Hive, Fable, Simplicity, Mazer, I believe 2 of those 4 are either going to get top 12 and top 16. That kind of top side of the losers bracket is looking pretty stacked right now.
And speaking about that top side, it's going to be the first time Toadie's going to be able to get revenge on his former squad.
That's true, too.
Toadie was actually let go off of that squad, and this is his first time for redemption, and I'm looking for him to play big against this squad. And to me, it's about the tail of the tape. Toadie versus Noe. They've been friends. They've been in those wager chats for a long time. Noe's first event, Toadie's first chance at redemption. Who's going to come out on top?
Man, storylines, of course, the winners bracket and the losers bracket. We'll keep you guys updated with scores throughout the day of that losers bracket while we present the action of winners, and both here and on our Bravo station. Of course, a lot of great action to be enjoyed online, but we talked about it a little bit earlier. It's even better in person. I had a close friend of mine, Kat, catch up with some other close friends who I met at San Diego for the very first time. That's Phil and Co. Kat had a chance to talk to some super fans making it out here in Boston.
Thanks, guys. We're here in the floor with some super fans who flew in from St. Louis to be here in Boston for our Gears event. Phil, how has it been to be here?
It's a blast to be here. These events are totally different, especially when you used to just watching it on stream and on Twitch all the time. You know, to actually be here versus watching it, it's a total different experience for sure.
So what's your favorite moment of being here? And I know you brought some friends with you as well.
Favorite moment of being here? I would have to say meeting a lot of the players and the cashers and the analysts. Everybody seemed to be extremely down to earth, a lot of fun and personable. And it's always a pleasure, like, to meet them and see that they are as big of a fan as the game as that I am. You know, I brought my guy Raheem and AJ and Terrell. We all flew out here. He's from Philly. And we all huge fans of the game, and we just wanted to show our support as well as just be here to see the last event of the season.
Well, thank you so much for coming out, and I hope you're having a blast for the rest of the tournament. That's all for us. Back to you guys.
There you have it. Well spoken from my man Phil from St. Louis, who flew all the way from St. Louis to San Diego, came up to me, and he was the gentleman that said, look, you always said it's great to be here. I didn't believe you. Now I do after making it out.
And those are the guys I was talking about. They met each other for the first time in San Diego, and the guy on the far left actually met the one right next to him for the first time. He went over to his house, and they had like a lot of good time, and that's exactly what these events are. They're a blast. Even if you have nothing to do, you're not coming to play, there are stations you guys can have free play, 2v2 tournaments worth thousands of dollars that you guys guys can play. There are so many prizes you can win during the tournament and after. There's really no reason not to come.
All I know is that Farouk trivia was lit. Whatever was happening in the break, Farouk was doing some trivia, both years trivia, and then he said, "What TV shows am I on?"
Battle Bots wasn't even the first one. It wasn't even the first one. I remember
shameless pops, okay? Sometimes you got to go for the shameless pop, all right? It's fine. It's whatever.
Always a good time here at Gears Pro Circuit, especially the finale here in Boston, and what a day of action it has been. Of course, we've had a great matchup between Rise Nation and Optic Game, and you got to think this Optic squad is looking good. But in your eyes right now, is there any team in particular that you think might be able to do it, might be able to upset Optic?
You know, I stand by what I said at the beginning of the weekend. I still think Rise Nation has all the correct ingredients to do it, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go back to my favorite guy on the planet, the player that I've always loved above all others. It's Franchise. If anybody has the key to success against a team like Optic Gaming, it's going to be a team led by Franchise. I know he doesn't have the man in the midst himself on the other side of the desk, Ryan, standing behind him anymore, but if anybody can figure it out, if anybody can crack the code, it could be Franchise.
He's done it before. Can he do it again? Meanwhile, PR, I know this Ghost Gaming squad is looking stronger. Do you think they have what it takes?
100% have what it takes. These guys have been reborn. I talked about it in Mexico City with Identim's first returning back to the squad. They kind of made jokes beforehand. Dezo and him were kind of going back and forth saying, hey, why don't you just come back to Latin America and play with us? A couple weeks later, dream comes true, and this squad is back with a fire like never before.
Do you believe that Identim is a superstar, best player in all of Latin America, makes the trip, lives up in California for the better part of a year, plays with Ghost Gaming. He said, look, I did it because I wanted to win a championship, wins a championship, returns back home to hopefully win another one with his brethren, the guys that he's been playing with ever since Gears of War 3. I mean, so much respect for Identives making that decision to choose brotherhood over an opportunity to play here in North America with the likes of a top-tier team.
That's my #1 pick in All-Stars. You already know that I appreciate Identims more than anyone. I mean, Identims actually, last I checked, helped us take out you, and you were a big doubter.
Hey,
so
listen,
we took out you too.
If I drafted a team, I'd slap that ass. I'm just saying.
As I checked, there's one champion on this desk in the All-Star realm.
Wait till All-Stars 2.0.
I'll let you finish for a moment, but I still drafted the best All-Star team of all time.
There's only one
All that for what?
There's only one champion, Ryan, but there's almost only one Hall of Famer on this desk.
Baseball into the big shows after this.
Throwing it out there for you, baby.
What Gears Hall of Fame?
Okay, first ballot over there for sure. The two side, on that side, first ballot, but Funky Punch has got to be the first team to go in. I don't care what anybody says.
You just lost all respect to that last statement. Anyways, I was former Funky Punch.
All right, he's out.
He's saying.
I'm just kidding. There you have it. Too much fun here.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Main stage, guys. We're gonna have to throw it over to Kat. We had a chance to catch up with some of our female players, Jeter and Co. Kat, take it away.
Hey guys, we're here in the 2v2 tournament area with Jeter and Divine. You guys just played your first match. I've heard you won. How was that?
Yeah, we won. It was 10-2. We kind of messed around a little bit. It was fun. We played against some old friends, so it was a fun match. We played really well.
Did you guys prepare to the 2v2 tournament, and what's your strategy going forward? Are you gonna win?
I mean, as far